Welcome to your deep dive. Um, Today we're diving into market wizards.
Oh, okay.
As someone familiar with the book, you've probably already pondered these concepts.
Right.
But I think you'll find that today we're going beyond the surface, uncovering insights that apply to not just trading,
hmm
but really any field.
That's right. Market Wizards offers a glimpse into the diverse approaches and philosophies that lead to success in the markets.
Yeah, and by examining these stories and experiences of these traders,
Right.
we extract wisdom that really extends far beyond Wall Street.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's dive in. One of the first things that struck me was how much emphasis these traders place on having a solid trading plan.
Yeah.
Mark Ritchie, for example, swears by it.
Mm.
He believes it's the key to maintaining discipline and honestly assessing your performance.
Yeah, I understand Richie's point about planning.
Mm-hmm.
It's crucial for removing emotion from the equation and making rational decisions.
Yeah.
But I think it's also important to balance planning with adaptability.
Mm-hmm.
Markets are constantly changing.
Right.
So how do we create a plan that's structured yet flexible enough to accommodate unexpected events?
That's a great point. It's not about rigidly sticking to a plan no matter what.
Right.
It's more about having a framework to guide your decisions
Yeah,
while remaining open to adjusting your approach
Yeah.
as needed.
exactly.
Gil Lipschutz, another trader in the book,
Yeah.
learned this the hard way.
Okay.
He missed out on a big win early in his career because he was so focused on getting into a trade
He did.
that he hadn't figured out his exit strategy.
Lipschutz's experience highlights a common pitfall for new traders. They often get so caught up in the excitement of entering a trade that they neglect to consider the equally important aspect of exiting a trade.
Hmm.
A comprehensive plan needs to address both entry and exit points,
Yeah.
as well as risk management parameters and guidelines for handling different market scenarios.
This makes me think about our own lives.
Right.
Whether it's pursuing career goals, managing personal finances, or even just planning a vacation.
Yeah.
Having a roadmap can bring clarity and focus.
Yeah, sure.
It doesn't have to be a rigid set of rules, but a flexible framework that guides our decisions
Right.
and helps us stay on track.
What do you think about applying this concept of life plan to our own endeavors?
I think it's a valuable exercise. Having a plan helps us define our goals, identify potential obstacles, and strategize our response in advance. This can reduce stress and increase our chances of success.
Now let's shift gears to something that might seem counterintuitive.
Okay.
Embracing losses.
Mm-hmm.
William Eckhart, a mathematician turned trader,
Right.
actually believes he learned more from his early trading losses than from his wins.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Eckhart's perspective is a powerful reminder that setbacks are an inevitable part of any journey. The key is to reframe losses as opportunities for growth, analyze what went wrong, and use those lessons to refine your approach.
That reminds me of Monroe Trout,
Oh.
known for his incredible consistency in the markets.
Right.
Even he acknowledges that losing streaks are inevitable.
Even with the best systems. His strategy, cutting back your position size when you're in a slump to manage risk.
Trout's approach highlights the importance of dynamic risk management. It's
Ah.
not about eliminating risk entirely, which is impossible,
Yeah.
but about adjusting your exposure based on market conditions and your own performance.
This raises an interesting question. How do we typically handle setbacks in our own lives?
Right.
Do we dwell on them, or do we try to extract valuable lessons? Do we let fear of failure paralyze us, or do we use it as fuel for growth?
It's all about perspective. We can choose to see setbacks as roadblocks, or we can see them as detours that lead us to a better path.
Let's move on to something that always fascinates me. Market psychology. You wouldn't believe this,
Okay.
but Ed Seykota, a trader known for his unconventional methods, actually used to read magazine covers to gauge market sentiment.
I'm intrigued by Seikoda's approach. While it may seem quirky, it speaks to the importance of understanding crowd psychology and how emotions influence market trends. Markets are ultimately driven by human behavior, and that behavior is often irrational and unpredictable.
Exactly. Bruce Kovner, another successful trader, noticed that the influx of professional traders had changed the very nature of market moves. The old patterns no longer applied. This really resonated with me because it highlights how we need to constantly adapt and evolve our understanding of the world as new information emerges.
Kovner's observation is a great example of the importance of staying ahead of the curve. Markets are constantly evolving, and successful individuals, whether in trading or other fields, need to be able to adapt their strategies to new realities.
This brings us to the idea that sometimes the most valuable insights
Yeah,
come from unexpected places.
right.
Mark Ritchie, the trader, who emphasized the importance of a plan,
Mm-hmm.
actually has a pretty unconventional background.
Oh, that's right. He went to divinity school
Yeah.
before entering the world of finance.
It's fascinating how seemingly unrelated experiences can shape our perspectives
Yeah.
and contribute to our success.
It certainly challenges the notion that there's only one path to success. Richie's journey is a powerful example of how diverse experiences can contribute to adaptability and mental agility, traits that are crucial for navigating the complexities of the markets.
And he offered this gem of advice,
Okay.
which I think applies to any field.
Okay.
If X, Y, or Z is a surprise, then you're part of the crowd. What do you make of this?
Richie's advice underscores the importance of mental preparedness by anticipating potential scenarios.
Yeah.
Even unlikely ones, we can reduce the element of surprise and make more informed decisions under pressure.
It's like that saying, chance favors the prepared mind.
Right.
Speaking of unexpected connections,
Okay.
did you know there was a trader in the book who used to be part of a blackjack team that used card counting to beat the casinos?
You're talking about Blair Hull. His story is a perfect example of how seemingly unrelated skills can be transferable.
Exactly. It's amazing how principles from one area of life can be applied to another. What parallels do you see between blackjack and trading?
Both require discipline, risk management, and the ability to identify and exploit statistical edges.
Hull actually said that going through long losing streaks in blackjack,
Oh, wow.
but having the faith to stick with his system
Yeah.
because he knew the math was on his side, was the best preparation for trading.
Interesting.
It taught him to trust the process and not get rattled by short-term fluctuations.
Yeah, that's a great point. Hull's experience highlights a crucial lesson for traders and anyone striving for success.
Yeah,
Focus on the process, not just the outcome.
right.
Short-term results can be random, but over the long run, a sound approach, whether in blackjack or trading, will likely lead to positive results.
I find it fascinating how different people approach trading.
Yeah.
Some rely heavily on technical analysis, while others focus more on fundamentals. Then there's a trader in the book who credits his success to Zen principles.
Yes, the anonymous Zen trader. His perspective offers a unique insight into the psychological aspects of trading, emphasizing the importance of detachment, mindfulness, and emotional control.
He actually advises viewing life and trading as a movie.
I remember that.
Yeah.
It struck me as a powerful analogy. It's not about being passive,
Right.
but rather about observing events unfold with a sense of detachment,
Yeah.
without getting swept up in the emotional drama.
It's about recognizing that we can't control everything,
Yeah.
but we can control how we react.
Right.
This resonates with me because I think it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day anxieties and lose sight of the bigger picture.
Absolutely. The Zen trader's perspective encourages us to step back, observe, and make decisions from a calmer, more objective standpoint. This can be incredibly beneficial in any field, not just trading.
Now let's shift gears
Okay.
and delve into some specific trading tips and techniques.
Okay.
One theme that emerges throughout Market Wizards is the importance of diversification. David Ryan, a long-term trend follower, calls it the only free lunch on Wall Street.
Ryan's point is well taken. Diversifying your portfolio across different asset classes, sectors, or even trading strategies can help to mitigate risk and smooth out returns over time.
And Yale Hirsch puts it even more vividly. He says, not diversifying is like throwing your lunch out the window.
Hirsch's analogy, while humorous, drives home the point. Failing to diversify can be detrimental to your financial well-being.
But diversification isn't just about money.
Right.
It's about spreading your bets
Yeah.
in all aspects of life.
Sure.
This could mean diversifying your skill set, your network, or even your experiences.
I completely agree. Diversification, whether in finance or life, is a powerful tool for building resilience and creating more opportunities.
Now let's talk about something that many traders consider the holy grail.
Okay.
Finding your edge. Bruce Kovner, the trader, who adapted to the changing market dynamics,
Right.
believes that having an edge,
Yeah.
whether it's a unique insight or a superior analytical method,
Right.
is what separates successful traders from the pack.
Kovner's right. In a world of increasingly sophisticated market participants, it's not enough to simply follow the crowd. You need to find a way to see what others don't. Stanley Druckenmiller, known for his bold bets, embraced shorting and leverage.
Wow.
He wasn't afraid to bet against the market, which gave him the flexibility to profit in both up and down markets.
Druckenmiller's approach highlights the importance of adaptability and thinking outside the box. Sometimes the best opportunities lie in challenging conventional wisdom. But as with any investment strategy, it's crucial to have a well-defined risk management framework in place.
Absolutely. Every strategy has its own risks and rewards. The key is to understand those risks and to manage them effectively.
This brings us to the concept of relative value,
Okay.
which involves identifying and exploiting discrepancies in the pricing of related assets. Blair Hull, the former blackjack player, was a master of this.
Mm.
He focused on the price of options relative to each other rather than their absolute value.
Yeah. Hull's strategy highlights the importance of recognizing relationships and imbalances within a market. By identifying mispricings, traders can capitalize on those inefficiencies.
It's like finding hidden gems by comparing similar things.
Mm.
It reminds me of something completely different.
Okay.
The Monty Hall problem.
The Monty Hall problem. That's a classic probability puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
What's the connection to trading?
Well, it illustrates how our intuition can sometimes lead us astray,
Mm-hmm.
and the importance of understanding conditional probability.
Okay.
In the Monty Hall problem, you're presented with 3 doors,
Right.
one with a car behind it and 2 with goats.
Right.
You pick a door. The host then opens one of the other doors to reveal a goat
Uh-huh.
and asks if you want to switch your choice to the remaining closed door.
I see where you're going with this. The counterintuitive answer is that you should always switch.
Exactly. By switching, you double your chances of winning the car.
Yes.
This seems illogical at first, but the math bears it out.
It's a great example of how our initial instincts can be wrong and the importance of reevaluating our decisions based on new information.
And this applies to trading as well.
Right.
Sometimes the market presents us with new information that challenges our initial assumptions. The key is to be open to revising our views and adapting our strategies accordingly.
You're right. It's all about being flexible and willing to adjust our course based on new data. Sticking to a losing strategy simply because it's what we initially believed can lead to disaster.
George Schwager, a physicist who later became a successful trader,
Okay.
makes a similar point about interest rates.
All right.
He says that if you want to know where interest rates are going, just look at where the bond market is trading.
Zweig's point underscores the wisdom of respecting market prices. Markets, while not always perfectly efficient,
Right.
reflect the collective knowledge and expectations of countless participants. They're constantly processing new information and adjusting prices accordingly.
Think of it like this.
Okay?
The market is a giant information processing machine,
Uh-huh.
constantly aggregating and reflecting new data.
Right.
By learning to read the market, we can gain valuable insights that might not be apparent through traditional analysis.
It's a valuable skill to cultivate,
Yeah.
not just for traders, but for anyone operating in a complex and dynamic environment. Learning to interpret signals from the environment, whether it's the financial markets or the social landscape, can give us a significant advantage.
Now let's talk about a crucial aspect of trading
Okay.
that's often misunderstood. Focusing on maximizing gains rather than the number of wins. Jeff Yass, one of the most successful options traders out there, emphasizes this point.
Yas's perspective highlights a key difference between amateur and professional traders. Amateurs often focus on being right,
Yeah.
while professionals focus on making money. It's not about winning every trade.
Right.
It's about making sure your winning trades outweigh your losing trades.
That's such an important distinction. It's not about ego, it's about results.
Precisely.
Mhm.
And Yas also warns against acting on the obvious. He found that his initial assumptions about market behavior were often wrong. This is something we can all relate to.
Yes. It's so easy to fall into the trap of thinking we have it all figured out.
It's human nature to seek patterns and make assumptions based on our past experiences. But in the markets, as in life, these assumptions can sometimes blind us to new opportunities or lead us down the wrong path.
It's a good reminder to constantly question our assumptions
Yeah,
and be open to new information,
right.
even if it contradicts what we think we know.
Challenging our assumptions can be uncomfortable,
Yeah.
but it's essential for growth and adaptability.
Before we wrap up, I want to revisit some of the more philosophical and psychological aspects of trading that we touched on earlier. Remember the anonymous Zen trader
Oh, yeah.
who advised viewing life and trading as a movie?
Yeah,
His perspective really struck a chord with me.
absolutely.
It's about observing events unfold without getting caught up in the emotional drama.
That perspective can be incredibly liberating. It allows us to detach from the anxieties of the moment and make more objective decisions. It's not about being passive.
Right.
It's about maintaining composure and clarity amidst the inevitable ups and downs.
He also emphasizes the importance of perspective, reminding us that the universe is vast,
Right.
our time is finite,
Yeah.
and our problems are often less significant than we might think.
It's a humbling thought. It helps us prioritize what truly matters and detach from the trivial concerns that often consume our attention.
So as we conclude our deep dive into market wizards, I'm left with this thought-provoking question. If successful trading is about identifying and exploiting inefficiencies, could the same principle be applied to other areas of life? Where are the inefficiencies in our own fields, our relationships, or even our own thinking patterns? Could recognizing and addressing these inefficiencies lead to unexpected breakthroughs or opportunities?
That's a fascinating question to ponder. The principles of observation analysis and calculated risk-taking, while often associated with trading, can be applied to a wide range of human endeavors. Perhaps we can all benefit from adopting a trader's mindset in our approach to life's challenges and opportunities.
I think you're absolutely right. By learning to observe, analyze, and adapt, we can become more effective decision makers, not just in our financial lives,
Right.
but in all aspects of our lives.
It's an ongoing journey of learning, adapting, and evolving. And who knows, we might just discover hidden opportunities and achieve breakthroughs we never thought possible.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the wisdom of market wizards. I hope you found these insights as valuable as I did. Remember, the journey to becoming a successful trader or a successful anything is ongoing. Keep learning, keep adapting, and most importantly, keep exploring.